burning in more than one way, because as Christians, we are to love, and that is the song that we normally sing from 1 John 4:7 and 8. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone that loveth is born of God and knoweth God. He that loveth not, knoweth not God, for God is love. But how can we get that fire going? And we're gonna be having some practical discussion. So we want you to feel free. It's not a sermon that is going to be preached on you, but we are going to be looking at some practical ways how we can keep that fire burning, how we can keep our homes happy, or we can keep our relationship amongst each other good. So there are two things that we want to look at. We're going to be looking at the love language, the 5 love language, which Juna will be sharing on. And we're going to also be just getting from persons online in their relationship. How have you been able to keep that fire burning? And then we will look at some scriptures and offer some other advice. Maybe it will be the same advice that you would have given. All right. So we're gonna start out by number 1. I'm gonna give you a couple of items that we can use to keep that fire burning. And then I will open the floor so that persons can share how they have kept and have let that fire burn for them in their relationship. All right, so let's just turn to Psalms 139, verse 14. Right. Anybody find it? You can read that verse for me, because it's gonna be interactive, so we want you to be a part. We probably want all of you to be a part of our discussion today. So, yes.
What was the verse?
Psalm 139, verse 14.
Okay. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
Okay. Indeed, I will praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. All right. Is that verse telling us anything that we can use to do in our real life application in terms of our relationship with each other? Because one of the first items that I have would be from that verse. Anybody want to unmute and what you think we can do in terms of what we saw coming from that verse in terms of our own relationship with each other?
Well, yes. From that verse, I say whereby we are special.
Yes.
Individual, we are special.
Right. Beautifully put. Because one of the things is that we need to recognize, one of the things that we need to do to keep that fire burning amongst our relationship, we need to recognize and we celebrate our partner special qualities. So our partner has a special talent, do some things very good. You know, the partner can cook, we need to recognize, wow, lovely dinner, you know? So there are items, and I'm sure you can give me other items from your partner where you can give credit to your partner. And that is one of the things that we need to do in terms of building and keeping that fire burning. I don't just take things for granted, but when we recognize that our partner have qualities, ability, talents, let us big them up, let us praise them for it. You know, it could be our partner can sing, and we just give thanks. We tell our partner that, wow, you know, your voice is beautiful, you know. So there are things, and I'm sure you can add many other things in which we, based on the talents, and even persons within our assembly, we see talents and gifts, you know. For example, a person can lip sync, a person can do signing very well. Let us pick them up and enhance and promote that talent, right? So let us look out for the talents, the gift, the ability of each other, spouse, other members of the fellowship. Let us pick them up and show them that we recognize their talents, and we just want to tell them, yes, we appreciate how you use your talent, you know, whether they're just kind, they're loving, they're caring. Let us just recognize these things. All right. Another thing, and this one is in married relationship, you know, is to take pride in all that you have accomplished, you and your partner have accomplished. All right. So there are many things that you and your partner would have accomplished over the year. Don't just take those for granted, but recognize those, and also, you know, as a couple together, think back on all of the things, where you have come from and where you are today, and just recognize those achievements and give thanks for those achievements, and let those achievements be the bond that helps to keep you together. I think we would have heard Kevin Bailey, who had mentioned this couple who at one stage was basically thinking of, the wife had come to the counselor and said, boy, there is nothing good about my husband, you know, there's nothing good about my husband. I can't bother anymore. And Kevin was encouraging her, just think one positive thing about your husband. And she said, no, I think. And I said, well, didn't he choose you? You know, wasn't that something good, positive? So there are things, and if we really think, or even if our relationship is rocky, we can think about one positive, we can think about positive about our relationship that we can use to enhance, and we can use to build our relationship. And so that is number 2. And let's look at the verse for that one. A verse I have from that speaks of 2 are better than 1, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other, but pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Also, if 2 lie down, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? Though one may be overpowered, 2 can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strong is not easily broken. The third pointer that we need to do in terms of building relationships is bearing one another burden. And that's my point number 3, in terms of whether in the church or in our marriage relationship, we need to bear each other burden. And there are some persons in our assembly, and we know who does that very well. All right. But as a body, we are one body, you know. And we see that in Corinthians, where the church is pictured as one body. So if there's a problem with the toe, you know, it affects the whole body. And so are we as Christians. And even in a marriage relationship, even so more, the two have become one. And so we have to bear each other's burden. And that is so vital in relationship, that we have to realize that part of the fact of being in a relationship is that we are to bear each other's burden. So when one person is suffering, you know, the other person needs to be there. Sometimes you're not able to do anything, but just being there makes so much difference. You know, Jesus will still be there. We are quite assured of that fact, you know, as sure as the steady rain, he will still be there for us and we can depend on him. We need to be also, our partner need to be able to depend on us despite their circumstance, despite the difficulties that they are facing. Another one, which is sometimes not so easy for us to do, is when we are hurt, we don't want to forgive. But if we are going to build healthy relationship, loving relationship, we must forgive. And God's words puts that plainly for us, that we have to forgive. Colossians 3 verse 13 says to us, make allowance for each other's faults and forgive anyone who offends you. Remember, the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive each other. Right? It even speaks of us in terms of our own worship experience. If you are going to the worship service and you have somebody up in your heart, the scriptures tell us, listen, don't come to the worship service to praise and to offer praises to me. You need to forgive that brother. And in our relationship, sometimes we hold on to things and we don't let go. All right, we have to learn to let go of those burdens and those unforgiving spirit that we are faced with. You know, the songwriter put it, I am forgiven, you know, because he thought of me. Jesus Christ didn't have to forgive us, but because he loved us so much, he forgave us. Even when we did our worst to him, he forgave us. And the criminal on the cross was also saved, who was mocking him previously, earlier before. He looked in himself and said, really and truly, this man has done nothing wrong, but we have done something wrong. And he asked for forgiveness and was saved. So forgiveness is a vital part of developing our healthy relationship with our spouse, with our members of our church family. And we can't hold on, and when we hold on to an unforgiving spirit, when we hold on to hurt persons, it does not help us. It is not healthy for our own good. All right. When we have that unforgiving, the hurt and all the angers that boils up in us, and it is what helps to deteriorate us health-wise. Right. So we need to be able to let go of the anger, let go of all the things, the hurts that hinder us from progressing as the Lord would have us progress. At number 5, I'm going to ask somebody to read this verse from Solomon, Songs of Solomon 4, verse 1 to 7. And then you will be able to tell me what I have for number 5. All right, number 5. Songs of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 1 to 7. All right, nobody has found it yet?
How beautiful are you, my darling? Oh, how beautiful. Your eyes beyond your veil are dove. Your hair is like a flock of gold descending from the hills of Gilead. Your teeth are like flock of sheep just shorn, coming up from the washing, each as its twin. Not one of them is alone. Your lips are like scarlet ribbon. Your mouth is lovely. Your temper beyond your veil are like the half of a pomegranate. Your neck is like the Tower of David, built with courses of stone. On it hung 1,000 shields, all of them shield of warriors. Your breasts are like 2 flanks, like 20 flanks of gazelle that browse among the lilies. Upon the daybreak and the shadows flee, I will go to the mountain of man and to the hill of incense. You are altogether beautiful, my darling. There is no flaw in you.
Yeah, thank you.
In the reading of God.
All right. As Solomon describes his lover, do we see the different body parts that he used in this verse to describe all the body parts? Can anybody list the 7 body parts that he uses?
Try our hair, our eye, our teeth, our lips, our neck, our breasts.
Right. And also to add to it, our cheeks.
Our cheeks.
All right. And I'm sure that we, as we look on persons that we love, there are unique features, there are unique things. I'm sure we can even get deeper in Solomon in terms of our description, and even in our intimate, as we are in our private rooms with our spouse, there are intimate descriptions that we can give and describe. You know, there was one songwriter who says there's nothing in the world like a big-eyed girl, right? But there are descriptions and there's uniqueness. It could be a big nose, it could be but we need to learn to appreciate our partner, no matter what. And sometimes persons may have flaws, but we have to learn to love the way God. We are all unique, and God loves us just the way we are. And we need to learn to love and show that affection to our partner. And Solomon was here in all his splendor, giving a full description of his lover. And he was describing every part: the eyes, the lips, the cheeks, the ear, the neck, the breast. He was giving a full description, right? And as we get intimate with persons, we must not be afraid to tell them how beautiful they are, how fearfully and wonderfully God have made them. And thank God for the gift that he has brought, especially in a married relationship, that there should be no fear to tell your partner just exactly how you feel about that wonderful gift that God has created for each, for you, both male and female, for each other. So let me just quickly recap. So these are some of the five of the items which we can do as we build healthy relationship with each other. We said number one was recognize and celebrate your partner's special qualities. Number two, take pride in all that you and your partner have accomplished together. Number three, bear one another burden. Number four, forgive one another. And number five, compliment each other. And I'm gonna open the floor now for you to give me some others, and then we will continue with looking at some more. And then afterwards, Brother Junior will share something from the 5 love language.
And the last one that you mentioned, right?
Yes.
Compliment each other, right? For all of us, right? There is something that causes us to, attract us to the one that we love, our partner, right? Which is basically, the outward beauty, right? The outward beauty of that person. And here is Solomon complimenting his partner based on our outward beauty, what he can see, what he can visualize, right? But there's more, right? We know there's more than outward beauty, right? But outward beauty is the first thing that attracts us to our partner, right? And then after you start to see, the inward beauty of the individual, and as you grow and the relationship mature.
All right. Thanks, Errol. I'm gonna ask some of the married men, and then we're gonna move to some of the married women. What attracted them to their partner? All right. So now is your chance. You can do some of the compliments and some of the things that we have been discussing. But what attracted you to your partner? All right. If you're afraid to say it out, you can put it in the chat. But you can open your mic and just tell us what attracted you to your partner. Don't all get shy on me now. We're going to have to call some names.
The beauty or smiles.
Uncle Errol said was a smile. Brother Calvin?
I think for me it was different. It was Dulce's overall handling of the scripture.
Okay. Brother Edwards? Uncle Clyde? All right. Brother Byfield? Burley Junior? Yeah, you're still muted.
Yeah, man. I admired Joy because she was mature as a young person and carried herself looking real nice, she sort of remind me of my mother. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I have the Valentine's birthday girl online. Let me hear what attracted her. And I saw her posting all of these lovely pictures on Facebook. Elaine? Yes, Elaine Forrest.
Hello.
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh, it's a whole lot of stuff. I tell
Nice.
you,
Cooking.
we're connected in so many ways. You understand?
Yes.
Other than his looks and his neat body,
Good thing that girl.
he tends to laugh a lot, which that impresses me.
Nice.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Okay. One of our recently wedded person, Samantha Brown Baker.
Uncle Leroy, why you calling me? No, you put me on the spot. Plus my birthday, God's willing, tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
My husband is right here hearing. So
Yes.
for me, it's just I love the body built person, and he has that. That's it.
Oh, you're listening to the song. We want muscles.
Muscles, yeah.
Yes.
So the body built and he works out a lot. So that really catching.
Okay.
All right.
All right. We have brother staff. Always glad to have you, brother staff. Ferd. All right. Oh, what I know he's at work, so we can't trouble him. All right. All right. So
He is here.
anybody else want to share?
Yeah, D is
Yeah.
here.
D, beautiful D.
Yeah,
I
man.
know D was the most lyrical of us, you know. Yes, D.
Yeah, man. We share the same set of things. We the first time I talked to her, we were at where? Syncona up in the hills. And then the next day, my first date was at a football match. I play football, she play netball, and that's it. We share the same thing. And it continued right throughout the kids born, and they were at the football field from 6 months. David, Janelle, Jody at the football field or the netball court. And we still do the same thing. We still in sports and still run young people. That keeps the fire burning. We share the same things. Can't get away from that.
Yes.
Same interest. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. And we have Latoya just dropping a note for us. And she said what attracted her, it was her husband introduced her to Assembly Hall, and he was a great listener and someone who was easy to talk to. All right. So you can throw in the chat too, you know, some of the things that really, if you don't want to unmute, that really grabbed you about your partner as you form that relationship.
Me, Uncle Leroy.
Yes.
Last but not least, that he is a child of God also.
Okay.
That wanted to be in that, you know?
Yes, and I love that you mentioned that portion, because it is important in terms of relationship, especially for Christians, to realize that God calls us to not be unequally yoked. And so the fact that the person is a Christian is a very, very important, that we not be unequally yoked in terms of a Christian marrying a person who is not a Christian. Because the Bible says, what benefit is there for light to be forming that relationship with darkness. But one other thing though, if we are in a relationship, we become a Christian, we are not to put away that person who is not a Christian. And the person who is a Christian is encouraged by their godly life to be an example so that that other person will want to come to Christ. All right. All right, so we have gone through 5. We're gonna go through the other 5, and then we're gonna give you some more time to interact and just to share. All right. And Elaine mentioned the fact that he makes her laugh. All right. And that's one of the things that we say is very important. Laughter is very good. All right. So you want in your relationship to be able to laugh. All right. And there are many ways that we can do this. All right. So we can go to the theater. All right. There is center stage. Well, there will be a benefit play put on by the SEA group, which is, I don't remember the full name, but Anansi, I think, and Pinocchio. And that's one of the things that you can do as a couple. You can go out to the Anansi and Pinocchio play. It's supporting the camp ministry that we are doing, and it will also benefit you as a couple together. So going out and laughing together is good. It's healthy. It's a healthy relationship builder, laughing together and laughing at each other. All right. Keeping you healthy, because it's more health beneficial to laugh than to frown. All right. She also mentioned, Latoya mentioned the other point that I have, where she says he's a great listener and was easy to talk to. All right, so I have here as well, give your time. All right, so we need to ensure that we make time for our spouse to be the center of attention. All right, also another thing is give a personal gift. It makes so much difference when you show your partner affection, but you give a gift, and it's sometimes it doesn't have to be an expensive gift, just a simple gift. It's just a thought which really shows the care. All right, so my wife gave me a gift for Valentine's Day, and the thought of her coming to the office, dropping off the gift for me, that just made that impact and made the day a special day. So it's important that we show each other that appreciation, that love, and giving a gift is one of the ways that we do this. All right. The other thing is just being grateful for each other, thanking God for each other. Yeah, somebody was saying something.
Leroy.
Yes.
Yes, Jenny. Judine is
Yes,
on
Jenny.
the line, but it's in my.
Yes.
Yeah, Judine wants to she my phone from her home because her internet not working at home. So
Right.
but she want me to ask you a question that.
Yes.
So what about the men that carry out their wives or their ladies and just work? So she's listening, but that is not from me, from Judy.
And so the question is, what about the men who?
Just work and don't carry out their ladies or their wives.
Right, so that's why we're saying that is not healthy at all. One of the things that we have to do is to give time. So yes, we may be working, but we have to find some time. It may be we set aside a time where we say this is a family time. One day out of the week where we set that special time together where we said, listen, we're not going to have any disruption, but we want this time. I know the work situation is very difficult, but we have to make the time, we have to make the effort to spend quality time with each other. Those are the things that are going to help us to build strong relationship. You know, the family that prays together, stays together. And when we bond together, even from a church setting, you know, we keep together. The closer we are together, the happier we shall be. All right. The psalmist made that comment. He says, it was good when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. So he was very much ready and waiting. He wanted to go into the house of the Lord. And the other thing, the final thing I'm gonna add for tonight before I'm just gonna let Juna share something on the love language is that we need to plan together, all right? Because as couple, we have a future together and that must be the plan. We must plan things together, what we are doing, what we want to achieve X time, in 5 years time, in 2 years time, next year, this year. So we need to plan together. You know, as you work together, plan together. We always sing this song that I love so much. We are one in the spirit. We are one in the Lord. And they'll know we are Christians by our love. All right. So one way of showing love is working together, planning together, building up things together. Couple who start from nowhere, just maybe a bed when they got married and they build their homes together are very closely knit because they know where they are coming from. All right, so I'm just gonna hand over to Jonah and he will just take you through some of the love language that is important in relationship building. All right, you're still on mute, Burley.
All right. Good night, everyone. It is well established that there are 5 love languages, right? We mentioned some tonight, and this applies to all relationships, whether it be family relationship, children relationship, male-female relationship, or all our relationships. It is established that there are 5 love languages. And some people end up going down the wrong street and never find out what the other person's love language is. All right? We, in our talking tonight, we looked at some of them. The first one we want to lay out is that there are words of affirmation, telling people nice things, tell them why you appreciate them. You see, you might be giving a lot of gifts and you're not telling them words of affirmation and you're not really speaking their love language, right? So when you speak in their love language, you can say, I love how you. Anybody want to say something here that you could say to somebody? I love how you
Cook the soup.
All right. So Errol says to you, Lynn, I really love how you cook the soup. I look forward to Saturday to have your red pea soup. You understand? Yes. And in that way, you're speaking her love language. So we have to learn what is our partner, what is our friend, what is our children's love language, and make sure we cater towards it. All right? So that's the first one. Words of affirmation. Tell them nice things. All right? And some people live on you telling them nice things, right? The second one is acts of service, right? So your partner, your friend will love when you clean the what you can clean for them. The car,
Yeah, the chandelier.
the
The fan.
yes,
Dishes.
the dishes,
Yes,
doing the dishes,
Right.
right? Cleaning the toilet,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Other things like that. Catering, doing things for them. Some people are attracted to the doers. So you might be telling them all kind of love words and you're not doing any acts of service and you're really not connecting with them, right? It is important that all of us, whether it be married, single, we are in one family, that we do acts of service that speaks to the other one's love language, right? Well, we spoke a lot tonight. Leroy mentioned gifts, right? Some people, you can tell them all the words you can, do all the deeds you can, and you don't give them a gift. On Valentine's Day, you don't carry to them workplace. And it's like you have done anything. Honestly, seriously, that is how life is. All right? So you have to learn the other's love language, right? Quality time. Some people thrive on the time you spend with them. All right? One lovely sister, I call her Chin, right? She says, Odin is a listener, right? And that attracted her to him. And worse, him go carry her come assembly hall. You understand? So, you know, he spent quality time. That's what she admired with him. He was a listener, right? And we have to learn that love language as well. All right? And another love language is physical touch. Physical touch. Some of our children love, the best thing you can do for them is to hug them up and kiss them up. You understand? My grandson, when he comes around me, him just want to sit down on me. The other day him say, I am his cheer. So I pick up that he likes physical touch. You understand? So when we come together, we do things that will big him up in that way, right? So I just want to ask anybody, you know your love language? Anybody want to share what their love language is? You can share it in the chat. We'll read it.
Mine is quality time.
All right. Quality time.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. All right. Anybody else? We don't know our love language. Is that it?
Is it have to be one or the other? It can be a combination.
All right.
Probably,
No,
yeah.
That's a good question. Good question, right? But the psychologists have said that we all have one major one of these 5. All right. I mean, say, you love when you get gifts, and the person don't tell you when you look nice. You know, you're going to wonder about that person, right? But if you're not getting gifts, your love language is not being spoken. So your love is not being fed. So the psychologist, it was started by Gary Chapman, and it has been studied by a lot more, and they say that that's a real thing. One of these 5 is your main love language. All right. Margaret says acts of service. Cool. So Leroy have to clean the car and wash the dishes, right? All right. Leroy says physical touch. Oh, that's nice. Nice, nice. And Yulin says acts of service. Right. I don't know if some people shy, they don't want to say gifts, but them really want some gifts, you know? Yeah.
Brother Birdie, respect one another.
All right. All right. Shami says respect for one another, which might fall, I would say, under words of affirmation, right? Yeah. Showing your respect for one another. Nice, nice, Shami. Anybody else? All right. I'm going to ask somebody, you know. Dennis, and he's no menace. Dennis, which one of these 5 you think is your love language? All right. I'm not hearing Dennis, but I'm going to ask our elder states lady, Sister Barbara Edwards, what is your love language? Unmute and tell us.
Quality time and physical touch.
All right. Quality time and physical touch. Nice, 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 nice. Joy said those are hers too. But is right. So those the ladies seem to have a special love for quality time and physical touch. All right. Nice, Sister Babs. Anybody else? I want somebody else from foreign. Dion, unmute and say which of these 5 love languages, which is your love language? All right, Dion.
I guess I would go with quality time.
Quality time. All right. All right.
I would go with words of affirmation and quality time.
All right. All right. Right. So mine is words of affirmation. I can tell you that. Right? So in all our relationships with one another, with our children, with our spouse, try to identify what is key to that person and express it to them. And it will help our relationships to grow, right? As we go to our family day next Wednesday, find out from somebody in your family group what is their love language, or you might have recognized it already, and make sure you express their love language to them. All right?
I realize There's a song that said, love is what you show me, right?
Yes.
Then can relate to what you show, right?
Mhm.
Words of affirmation, act of service, gift, quality time, and physical touch.
Right, right. So love is not only just saying, boy, I love you, you know, I love you. But it has to be expressed, right?
Yes, right.
Some people tell you that love is a verb
Mhm.
because it is an action word, right? And of course, as Leroy has pointed out, and as Elaine said, our husband had to be a Christian, right? And our Christian love is agape, and we spoke a lot about that. All right, so in recapping, we Leroy spoke to us about, and I just wrote down these pointers: recognize and celebrate your partner's quality. All right, qualities. So that would fall under what? Which one we think that would fall on? Affirmation. Affirmation. Right? And it's working together. We would say that would fall under what?
Service.
Acts of service. And then bear one another's burden. What would that fall on?
Quality time.
Maybe quality time.
Right.
Yes, yes. Right? Listening, as Lataya says she loves. Right? I won't forget that, you know, Lataya. All right. And forgive. Forgive. Where that one fall? I would say maybe act of service.
Of service, yeah.
Anybody think that would be it?
Yes, I
I don't think so. I think it's words of
And quality
acclamation.
time.
You love, you forgive,
Affirmation.
Oh, yeah.
you affirm.
All right.
Yeah,
right. Right. So we're not being hard and fast, but I'm just trying to apply the 5 love languages
right.
To our situations. All right. Complement each other. All right. Them hand, them ear, them teeth, them neck. And I like that, you know, our neck is like a tower. You understand? Yes. I used to read it and laugh at them, you know, some of them. All right. So that definitely is words of affirmation. All right. Number 6, laughter. Laughing together, laughing at each other. I would say quality time. Quality time. All right. Working together. Looking out for each other's milestones and celebrating them. Where we think that would fall. All right. I think it will fall under words of affirmation. Right? Celebrating. Anything with celebrating to me is affirmation. Anybody think otherwise?
Agree.
All right. And then, of course, he mentioned giving gifts, and that definitely love language that of gifts, right? Bonding together, quality time, right? And planning together, quality time, I would say. All right. So our 5 love languages is what we must seek to look for in every relationship we have, whether they be married, family, or church family, or in our homes, right? Look for their love languages and cater towards them. All right. Our time is far spent. And I'm going to just hand over back to Leroy for him to wind up this